What is up, guys? Tony here, and today we're bringing you another montage editing tutorial, and many guys have been asking for a professional motion tracking tutorial with 3D motion tracking. In the past, I've done tutorials on how to do motion tracking in Final Cut, which is very simple. It's just keyframing. But you can also do it in After Effects. You need After Effects CS6, CS5, or CS5.5. Either of those versions work. And you're going to basically go ahead, find a cinematic you want to use. I'm going to use this typical one I always use, if I could find it. Let me see here. There it is. And you're going to go ahead, and I'd recommend taking it and putting it into a video converter. I've talked about converters in the past. I think Converter Ultimate is the best version for Mac. And you're just going to want to get max quality out of that. So I'm going to go to my custom max quality setting, and we're going to go ahead and export that. And that shouldn't take too long. And once that's done converting, you're going to start opening up After Effects. And you're going to need a plugin called Motion Tracker 1.0. It's by, I think it's Foundry, Camera Foundry, something like that. And you're going to need to go ahead and buy that or download it or get it for free. There's lots of tutorials on how to do that on the internet. Just look up how to do it for Mac. I'm not going to be showing you how to get that, and I'm not going to be giving you the download because I have no idea where the download is myself, because I did that years ago. So wait for After Effects to open. It's taking a while. One of the reasons why I wish I could put Mac on that PC I just built. And once it's open, you're going to basically create a new composition, which I'll show you to do that. If none of you guys have worked with After Effects before, it's not that difficult, especially if you're just trying to do some motion tracking. It's not that bad. It's not bad at all. But if you want to do something along the lines of a full-on edit in After Effects, it takes a lot of time and effort. Actually, it turns out After Effects was open on my second screen, which was off. Just realized that. Let me import. You go to File, Import, and then you choose the clip you want to track, which is this one right here. And you take that clip and you just drag it down here. It starts up a new composition for you automatically, but if you want to start one manually, go to New Composition, and you make sure it has the settings you want. You go to Effects and Presets up here. If that's not open already, you go to, once this loads, you go to Window, and then you go to Effects and Presets. But mine was already open. I'll show you now. Effects and presets right here. So Command 5 by default. And when you're in here, you go to the search bar and you type in camera, and then you could type in tracker, but it shows up pretty quickly. And you drag it on top of your clip, and then you're going to hit track features, and that is going to start tracking, and it's going to take a while, especially if you have a slower computer. So we're going to pause it real quick. Alright, that finally completed, so now you're going to hit solve camera. And that's going to go ahead and load up. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Usually it goes pretty quick, but for some reason it's staying there. And then you're going to go create the scene, which is just going to create your trackable item on the screen. We have this like reddish box here. That's basically where the tracked item is going to be. And as the screen moves, you'll see it moves forward. But sometimes you don't want to track it to that exact point. So you want to track it to this piece of wood here on this building. You basically are going to select that track point. You want to make sure it has a good track lifetime, which basically means that it exists for every frame in the clip. And then you're going to basically command click, and then go to ground plane and set origin. Now make sure you click the point first, and then you command click. If you don't do that, then you won't be able to set it as origin. It has to be the selected point. You'll see there's a new box there now on that exact point. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to your text tool, which is up here. You're going to click, and you're going to type in motion tracking, I guess. That could work. And maybe make it black. I had to highlight it first. I'm going to make the text black. Actually, you know what? Let's do white. But, actually, let's do red. Let's do red. And then, let's take it and make it a little bit bigger. 75. And you can choose your selection tool. You can move it around. We'll move it like right there. And you're going to have to hit, see down here where my mouse is, you're going to have to hit this box here where the 3D box is. You're going to have to hit that. And then it becomes a 3D entity. And we have to make it a little bit bigger once that happens. But no big deal. It takes 2 seconds. And you're just going to line it up how you want it. And when you move forward in the timeline, you'll see that it is tracked right there. And we can align this a bit better. And the other thing we can do is we can add effects to it, a little bit more advanced. But what I like to do is I go into Effect, I go to Stylize, and I add a glow. And that makes it stand out a bit more. You can increase the glow threshold if you want, make it look brighter. And that makes you a good motion track right there. I mean, you can really mess around with it if you want to. Like, I'd probably do something like this. Make it actually look like it's sitting on that thing. And then maybe even add another motion track back here on this pole or against this wall. And for example, if I wanted to move something against the wall, I would go to the rotational tool, which is right here, and I would go like that. But you'd have to change the font, and you can basically rotate it however you want. But a better way to do it is just to choose a tracking point on a wall. It'll usually notice it is at a slanted angle, and you can also click on the text and hit R, and then you can see all your rotational options, your orientation. So you have all these options to make it stick to a wall or something like that. But I necessarily, as a beginner, as you guys start with this, work with things like this. Maybe even put it down here on this wall. Don't do any sideways things, because sometimes when you're not that good or very experienced with After Effects, it can get very frustrating trying to make it work. So basically just start off with things like this. It's a very cool tool. It does take a little bit of time to get used to After Effects, but that's all I use it for really, and maybe some motion blur, which is another cool effect. And once you're done, you're going to add it to the render queue. And you're going to go ahead, and this is going to be where your output is, so put it to the desktop, name it whatever you want. And then go to your output module. And this is where you'll choose all of your options for the video format. Just choose like QuickTime, whatever works for you. Make sure it's 1080p, full quality. Make sure it has a high frame rate. And you can also select audio outputs, so you have some audio, if there is audio in the clip you want to keep. And make sure you do all that. Then hit render, and you are ready to go. It'll export to the desktop. And that's pretty much it. That's how you motion track on a Mac professionally. And this also is 3D. This is something that you can't do with the normal motion tracking on Final Cut on Final Cut and on After Effects, because this has the 3D type of aspect where it gets larger as you get closer. So there you go. That's pretty much it. It's a quick tutorial. A lot of you guys were asking for this, so I thought I'd whip one up real quick. If you guys enjoyed this tutorial and you want to see more of these, or you have any ideas for future tutorials I can do, go ahead, comment below, like this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. There's pretty much it. I'm Tony, and I'll see you guys next time.